So now with our routes registered, let's make sure we can also reach those routes from inside our application. And we got this the navigation.view file where I got two buttons where I emit a custom event to which I previously listened here in AppView. I'm still listening to it, but actually now we're not going to navigate like this. We now don't need to manage manually which page should be loaded. We can get rid of the active page data property in AppView. We can get rid of this event listener here on the navigation, and therefore we can also get rid of this setActivePage method here, of course. We can get rid of the entire methods block, therefore. In that navigation, we no longer emit setPage. And we therefore no longer have this setActivePage method, and we can hence get rid of the entire methods here. And therefore, actually, we can get rid of the entire script block since we got no specific component configuration in there anyways. Instead, we'll now navigate differently. And we'll not use a button anymore. Instead, we'll use another built-in component that comes with the Vue router. And that is the router link component. It's a little bit like the built-in anchor tag HTML element, you could say, but it's a special anchor tag. A special anchor tag which actually will not load a different page and reload the entire app and hence lose the current state, but instead a special anchor tag where the browser default of loading a different page is prevented, and instead the Vue router takes over, analyzes the link the user clicked, and then loads the appropriate component and updates the URL. Things like that are handled by router link. You can still pass your text between there. You can actually pass any HTML element in there, which you might need, because router link internally uses slots. But here I just want some text. And now, of course, we need to configure router link. And the most important configuration here is the toProp, which it expects. The toProp takes various different values, and the simplest way of using it is to provide a string to it which holds the path you want to go to. So in this case, /teams. So of course that should be one of the routes you are supporting in your routes configuration. And that's already all then. We can also replace the second button with such a router link. Here I want to go to my users, and hence the toProp points at users. Now we'll get some problems with styling here, because previously I used a button, now it's a link. Hence I will replace the button CSS selector down there with an anchor tag, because router link under the hood will render an anchor tag, so we can style an anchor tag here. And I'll delete this font CSS property, keep the rest though, and also replace button hover and button active with an anchor tag. Also add a new CSS property to the anchor tag rule here and set text decoration to none. With that styling updated, if we save this and reload, we got the same buttons as before, but now these are actually links. And if we click them, we switch between these different routes. And if we inspect these elements, we see what I just explained in theory. We got anchor tags here, which have this ref attribute, but this router link component actually makes sure that the browser default is prevented and the browser doesn't really try to load a different HTML file, but instead the router then analyzes the value in the ref attribute and checks your routing config to find the appropriate Vue component that should be loaded. In addition, you see that some CSS classes were added here, router link active and router link exact active. And we only have this on Teams at the moment. If I inspect the other list item, we don't have the classes there. These classes are added automatically by Vue router on the link which is currently selected, so for the route that's currently active, so that you can actually style these links based on the selection to give the user feedback regarding the route he or she is currently on. Now that's something we're going to explore next.